I was visiting my dad in the hospital when I saw him talking to someone, but he's been dead for 2 days. A few weeks ago, my dad was admitted to the hospital with severe pneumonia. At first, he was critical but stable. The doctor said he might pull through, so I visited him every day after work. On the third day, around 9 p.m., I was sitting in the waiting room when I noticed something strange. Through the glass of his room, I saw my dad sitting up and talking quietly to someone I couldn't see clearly. He looked calm, even smiled. The problem? My dad had passed away 2 days earlier. I was there when they pronounced him dead. Shaking, I rushed to the nurse's station to ask if maybe I was mistaken. Maybe it was another patient. They looked at me strangely and said his room was empty, and the body had already been moved to the morgue. I went back to the room's glass, but there was no one there. No chair, no visitor. Just an empty bed. Confused and freaked out, I asked the night nurse if anyone else had reported seeing something odd. She hesitated, then said quietly, "A few staff members have talked about seeing him in the room, especially at night, but he's been gone for days." The weirdest part? The night after, my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. It simply read, "He's not really gone. Not yet." I showed it to the hospital security team, but they said there was no record of that number. I didn't go back to the hospital for 2 days after, but then, late on the fourth night, I got a call, not from hospital staff, but from a low, distorted voice telling me to come to the basement storage room immediately if I wanted to know the truth about my dad. Against every instinct, I went. The basement was dark, cold, and silent. Inside the storage room, under flickering fluorescent lights, lay a hospital bed, and my dad, alive but unconscious, hooked up to machines. I called out his name, but he didn't respond. Suddenly, a man stepped from the shadows, the hospital's chief doctor. He told me everything. My dad didn't actually die 2 days ago. The hospital had faked his death after a medical error during treatment. They were trying to keep him hidden while they fixed their mistake, fearing a lawsuit. The ghost sightings were actually hospital staff secretly visiting him, trying to keep him alive away from prying eyes. Then the doctor leaned in and whispered, "Some things are better left dead. You should leave before this gets worse, for both of you." I left the hospital that night with more questions than answers, and a dad who isn't really gone, yet.